Hello, welcome back to Gwent, Skellige, and playing the Rage of the Sea strategy with Fulmar and Rioghan. I wanted to come back with a shorter video on this topic. I want to say that this deck seems to be working quite well in 9.6 as well, Season of the Wild Hunt, that is. I had to make a few minor adjustments just so that I fit the provision limit, but the main strategy and win con of the deck is the same. So playing Fulmar and bringing Rioghan with Zigardrifa's Right or even Bride of the Sea, depending on what you have in hand and in deck at the time, this proves to give quite a devastating blow to the opponent and basically brings you the win. The first match that I'm going to show you a part of is quite an uncommon one, because I had to deploy the win condition in round 2, because as you will be able to see in a few moments, having lost round 1 by passing early because the opponent had Saskia on board and was demolishing me with pointwise, then he chose, as you can see here, to bleed me and attempted a 2-0 win. So then I had no other chance but to respond, and whilst I had quite good cards in hand, there was no way of playing this without compromising endgame and keeping part of the strategy. At least I couldn't see any way to do that. I tried until the last moment to not use the gold cards and keep them for round 3, hoping that I would be able to survive at least with Fulmar and the Bride of the Sea into that round, but he really did not give me any chance, although he had very few points on the board because of his own strategy, playing with a lot of traps. I had no other chance but to play Fukusia, and I was considering what to bring in, because right now Rain would not have damaged his side that much, having so fewer points on the board. So then I opted to choose something with greater value. I thought that this bronze might prove quite useful, because if I get to deploy Rain, then she has this opportunity to grow. So then I don't know whether this choice was the best one. This is quite classic move from him, transforming traps into points. So right now I had quite the deficit, so there wasn't another way to recover all of this other than deploying the win con that I've spoken in the intro. Thankfully this was enough, and after winning round 2, the two of us were left with pretty much bronzes and less strong cards in the deck. And whether you might consider it lucky or just the strength of the deck overall, it was enough for me to be able to secure the win in a short round with only 3 cards in hand for each. Then into round 3, like I told you, there were only bronzes left to play. I was looking at my graveyard and other than the Mashi Truffle, there was not any other interesting card. I took my chances and didn't get much, so the only risk was for the Mashi Truffle. But I got this card from the discard package instead, which was of little help. As you observe, I still had one leader charge available. I was expecting him to not have any other strong cards either, because he played a lot during round 1 and also in round 2, where he tried to get the 2-0 victory, but he couldn't. So then I was really thinking that with these cards I still have a good chance to win it. It was pretty much over at this point, and next match I'm going to show you is actually a recording from last season that is also available in a full-length match. Check the description and the link below. Well, you would say that things are not looking that good for me, but I wouldn't say it's really so.
This mess is for Fulmar. His eyes only.
We stand before the Queen of Skellige.
I don't even care what he discards.
Nothing like some overseas plunder in spring.
You shall never find peace. Best drown yourself with those damn nets. I fish breath? How dare you, foul swine!
It's a bit of a pity that I lose my Melusine, but at this point I don't think there is something much better that I can do with her. Which is the best row to attack with a lot of rain? Is it this one or this one? I think it might be this one, because he has more cards on it.
An honor to be sacrificed to the goddess.
Let's see if he has an answer for Fulmar. Otherwise, I'll still collect quite some points from deploying Just Rain. Okay, now it's party time.
Lady of the Seas, daughter of the heavens, accept my sacrifice!
Salty blood flows through my veins, the blood of the sea.
Yes, this is how it should go. When you play like this. So, what do you have? Do you have a reset power? Cut off 41 points off of my Messenger of the Sea. Otherwise,
Let's get this over with.
I'm still ahead, still ahead.
We serve her who is
So this
birth and
is
mother and
quite
throne.
the victory for me. We made it in one piece to the end after drowning our opponent in some heavy storm. This is the fun of playing this deck. This was a match against Scoiatel Handbuff. I felt pretty much in control at this point. I didn't have many opportunities to counter his hand buffing cards over the course of the game, but nonetheless, knowing the recovery capabilities of Rioghan and Fulmar, I kept my faith. I was wondering a bit if Melusine is a worthy target for bringing back, apart from Rioghan, of course. I had Fukusia and Bride of the Sea, which could be used for purposes such as bringing these cards back. But usually with Fukusia you want to bring a bronze so that you get the most out of its ability, which is getting more rounds of rain, the less the provision cost of the card which you are bringing in. So between Little Hafru and 21 points Melusine, this was the calculation I needed to do. But if everything went fine and Fulmar was on track to transform rain into storm, each round of rain is extra 5-point potential. So then maybe a Little Hafru is even better than 21 points Melusine. After all, I opted for a Little Hafru, specifically because of the reasons I told you just a moment ago, to get the extra rounds of rain. He got his torque and got quite a point lead, but like I said, I felt pretty confident. Got even more rain on his melee row, where he had most of the points. And about now I was sure that I have all the ingredients to get this win. This strategy, maybe it gets old after you play it a few times. It's quite powerful, and if you get to play this long enough, you will probably get bored a bit of doing it all the time. But in terms of efficiency, it's quite great. Well, this was the end of the match and also the end of my video. I hope you enjoyed it, and this shorter format is more interesting than whole match recordings. See you at the next one, and hopefully I switch to a different strategy and different faction altogether.